Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy, delicious keto meal recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make quick, easy, delicious keto zucchinioli, also known as zucchini ravioli. This is super easy, super delicious, and is ready in under 30 minutes. So if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while we do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Lightly spray a 3-quart casserole dish and then set it aside for a minute. For your sauce, in a large food processor, combine 15 ounces of tomato sauce, 6 ounces of tomato paste, a 14.5-ounce can of Italian seasoned diced tomatoes. You want these undrained, you want to have the juice to it. Add a half teaspoon of onion powder, a half teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of dry Italian seasonings. If you don't have dry Italian seasonings, you can make your own. I just use 1.5 teaspoons of dry oregano, a half teaspoon of dry basil, and 1 teaspoon of dry parsley. You can use whatever seasonings you want. You can also adjust them more or less depending on how strong you want the flavor of your sauce. If you want to, you can sprinkle in about a teaspoon or so of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want, or you can just leave it out completely. I add a little pinch of it just because it kind of balances out the acidity of the tomato, and it also brings out the flavor of the herbs a little better. So that's up to you whether you want to add any of that or not. Pulse everything together a few times just until all the ingredients start combining. Then process on high for about 20 to 30 seconds or until the sauce is smooth and your desired consistency. Once the sauce is smooth, then measure out around 1.5 cups of the sauce and set it aside for a minute. Now you're going to have extra sauce. All you have to do is pour the remaining sauce in an airtight container and store it in your refrigerator for up to a week, or you can freeze it for up to 2 months. Or if you don't want to have any leftover sauce, you can always just cut the recipe in half. So once your sauce is all done and you've reserved 1.5 cups of it, set it all aside for a minute. For the filling, in a medium bowl, combine 220 grams or around 1 cup of ricotta cheese, 23 grams or around 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, a half teaspoon of dry oregano, and a half teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir everything all together until everything is fully combined and smooth. You can also adjust the herbs and spices and flavorings on this according to your personal taste. Gradually fold in 52 grams or around a 1/4 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. Just add this in small amounts and then fold it in, stir it in till it's combined, then add a little bit more. You don't want to add this all at once because it can chunk up on you and not distribute as well throughout the mixture. So add it in small amounts. Once the mozzarella cheese is fully added and it's evenly distributed throughout the filling, then set the filling aside for a minute. To assemble the zucchinioli, take your prepared casserole dish and spread around a half cup of the reserved sauce throughout the bottom of the pan. Make sure that the sauce covers the entire bottom of the pan in just a thin layer. You don't want a thick layer of the sauce, just enough to cover the bottom. If you want to, for a little bit extra protein and a little bit extra bulk, you can crumble a little bit of cooked ground beef or ground sausage. That's up to you if you want to do that. Once it's spread, and if you want to add the crumbled ground beef, then set the pan aside for just a minute. Then cut the top ends and the bottom ends off of 2 medium-sized zucchini. Use a vegetable peeler or a very sharp knife and cut the zucchini into thin, wide strips. Make sure you do this very thin. We want the strips to be thin enough so that they are flexible and can be bent and shaped into a ravioli shape that we will be doing. Once the zucchini is all cut into thin, wide strips, then line a clean work surface with parchment paper or a silicone liner. Place 2 strips of the zucchini side by side vertically onto the work surface. Allow the strips to slightly overlap on one of the sides. This is going to give you a more sturdy ravioli. Place 2 more zucchini strips horizontally side by side across the vertical strips to create basically a cross type shape. And again, with the horizontal strips, make sure they are also slightly overlapping on one side. Scoop the filling out by 1 to 2 tablespoonfuls, depending on how big your zucchini is. Then place the filling in the center of your zucchini cross. I just use my small cookie scoop when I'm scooping the filling out. The main thing is you don't want to overfill your zucchini, otherwise when you go to shape it, it's going to squish out the sides. So you're just wanting enough to fill that little overlapped center of your cross, which for me was about 1.5 tablespoons or a little over a cookie scoop. Once you have the filling in the center, then fold one side of the zucchini strips over the filling, then take the opposite side of the zucchini strips and fold them over the filling. Take the remaining 2 sides of the zucchini cross and fold them also over the filling. This is going to create a little bit of a zucchini package. Then turn the zucchini ravioli seam side down and place the zucchini ravioli package seam side down into your prepared casserole dish. Continue to repeat the filling and folding process until all of the zucchini is used and placed in your casserole dish. Once your zucchini is all used up and folded and inside of your prepared casserole dish, depending on the size of your zucchini, you might have a little bit of filling left over. If you do, all you need to do is just scoop it on top of the ravioli packages and just spread it out a little bit. Spread your remaining reserved sauce over the zucchinioli. You can adjust the amount of sauce more or less depending on how much sauce you like over your zucchinioli. I like enough sauce to cover all of the zucchinioli on all sides, but you adjust according to your personal taste. Once the sauce is spread evenly over the zucchini, then sprinkle about a 1/2 cup of crumbled mozzarella cheese over the sauce. You can adjust the amount of cheese more or less according to how much cheese you like on your zucchinioli. Once the cheese is sprinkled evenly and you have all of your zucchinioli all prepared, place the casserole dish into your preheated oven. Bake at 425 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes or until heated through and the cheese is fully melted. Once the zucchinioli is cooked, remove it from the oven. Allow it to cool in the dish for about 5 minutes. You don't want to burn your fingers when you go to serve it. After the zucchinioli has cooled for about 5 minutes, then place your desired amount of the zucchinioli onto a serving plate of your choice. You serve this warm and eat this immediately. If you do have any leftovers, allow it to cool completely and store it in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 3 days. Or you can divide it up into serving sizes and place it in freezer-safe containers and freeze it for up to 3 months. Eat and enjoy. And that's a recipe of the day. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.